Hi friends! Sorry about the long wait between videos. I'm in graduate school. That is really my only excuse, is that I'm like, oh, I thought I had a Friday. No, I don't have a Friday. I never have a Friday. But I'm back from my, if you can call it a hiatus without a regular schedule, but I am here today to talk about my top 10 favorite YouTubers, because top 10 lists. If you want to be on YouTube and not vlog, you gotta do top 10 lists. So, today I'm going to talk about, like I said, my favorite YouTubers, because I have quite a few. And I intended to be consistent about where I film these videos, but as you can see, I'm not where I was during my first two videos. I'm not at my desk, I'm in my bed, because daylight savings time has literally ruined my daily schedule. Like, it's dark, and it shouldn't be dark, so the lighting at my desk is very bad right now, so I'm sitting on my bed instead. It's very intimate. Alright, so my first favorite channel on YouTube, or one of my favorite channels on YouTube, is a gaming channel called GameTheory, hosted by a wonderful person named Matt Pat. GameTheory is probably one of my favorite channels because I feel like I'm at least kind of learning something, which is cool. And the host, Matt Pat, real name Matthew Patrick, says that he does his research, and I assume that he does. It's not the kind of show that you can just cobble together, because people will call you on your crap if they have to. So I feel like I'm learning things that I can look up and understand further. And the basic premise of GameTheory is that Matt Pat and his wonderful editors and team of people will take on a video game logic problem of some kind, whether or not Link's hookshot would kill him, because as it turns out it will, spoiler, or Link from Legend of Zelda, or whether or not you can actually jump off of a building like they do in Assassin's Creed. You can't, you would die. So they take on things like that, and I think it's just fascinating, because it reminds you of how interestingly incorrect video game logic usually is. And I was going to do a favorite video for each of these, and if I have a favorite video, I will tell you it. My favorite video is probably, I can't think of it. But it's a wonderful show. I suggest that you guys subscribe to GameTheory. I'll include links down in the description. But I suggest you subscribe to GameTheory because it's wonderful, and it has the catchiest theme tune that I've probably ever heard on a YouTube show. Alright. Another favorite channel of mine is the Caddicarus show. And I just got into that recently, like in the past 3 weeks, probably 2-3 weeks, and he's a riot. He's hilarious, and he's younger than me by a year, which makes me kind of uncomfortable. But he's also that was ugly. I'll cut that out. His channel is mostly a game review show. But he does other things, like small segments, like he does top 10 lists, not unlike this one, and he does things called Tinker Time, which but his humor is very often kind of violent sometimes, really funny, really wacky and random, random repeats of words and like screen shaking and stuff like that, emphasizing words with captions, and it's really funny. It's basic YouTube gamer humor, but it's really, really funny. And my favorite video by him is his one with 1 million views, the worst game ever made, and it is a riot, and not just because the game is bad. That's half of it. The other half is how unbelievably pissed off Caddy is about it, because I would be too if I'd spent money on a game like that. But I'll include that and a link to that video down. My next favorite YouTuber is a wonderful YouTuber called ProJared. Also a YouTube gamer, does reviews, top 10 lists. He was just at E3, so he talked a lot about what happened at E3. He has, I think, maybe 5 or 6 videos talking about his reaction to all the big game companies like Square Enix and stuff like that, and Square Enix and Bethesda talking about their panels. But most of what he does is game reviews, and occasionally reviews of old cartoons, like the Mario Brothers Super Show and Donkey Kong Country cartoon, both of which are bad, but hey, it happens. Why do I like him? His sense of humor is really goofy. I can laugh watching any of his videos, and I can watch them over and over again and not stop and always be entertained by what he talks about. My favorite videos of him are the 3 videos in the Hive Live series. Fun fact about me, I've never owned an N64 or an SNES or an NES. So, and for those of you who don't know games, the Nintendo gaming systems before the GameCube. So I'm not used to NES games. I started on a PlayStation 1. So hearing him yell angrily about, not Angry Joe angry, but hearing him yell angrily uh, uh, about games like Hide is hilarious. It's a really terrible game, and he's pissed they made 2 sequels, because they did. Hide, Super Hide, and Virtual Hide. They're terrible, and watching Jared rant about them is the most fun that you can have on a lonely Saturday night. My next favorite YouTuber, who is related to ProJared, is JonTron. JonTron is a pretty well-known YouTube gamer who does reviews, and I can't describe his humor because I'm not good at describing people's humor, but he's funny in a way that Caddicarus and ProJared are not. He's not kind of weird funny like Caddy is, or kind of the occasional setup joke that ProJared is. JonTron, I believe he has a dramatic background, but JonTron has kind of a theater background. Yeah, he has theater background, and it shows whenever he's talking about things. He puts on a really exaggerated Boston accent and yells about bad, weird, or hard NES games and SNES games. And the occasional top 10, but his main strong points are all of his reviews. If I had to name a favorite review of his, it'd probably be of the movie Food Fight, which is a crime against nature and humanity and stuff like that. It's a really, really terrible movie, and both he and the Nostalgia Critic did a review of it, and I think JonTron's is funnier. And they're both worth watching because they cover different parts of the movie, but JonTron's humor meets with Food Fight in such a hilarious way that it's really, really funny. And he interplays between shots of himself reacting and then his narration over the video, or his comments over clips from the film or game, which is really funny. Alright, and my last favorite gaming channel is OutsideXBox, which is sponsored by Xbox. And it is a weekly show talking about games on the Xbox. That was, yeah, I mean, obviously. But it's hosted by 3 people, Andy, Jane, and Mike. And they are British, which is great because Americans love British things, even though we kicked them out like 300 years ago. But most of their videos are, they do Show of the Week, which is kind of a weekly go-over of like, hey, here's a game that we like, hey, here's a funny thing we want to talk about in gaming, here's some comments, funny scripted jokes. And it is legitimately very funny. They're very British in their humor, and that it's quick and witty, and occasionally you need to really think about it, but it's really funny. And they also have, my favorite thing about the channel is that they have a really interesting way of doing countdown videos. It won't just be something like what I'm doing now, which is top 10 favorite YouTubers. Theirs will usually be things like top 7 bosses with the cheapest tricks we've ever seen, or the 8 most disgusting zombies in video games, or 5 times we were too scared to fight fair, stuff like that. Things that I think are unique among the countdown gaming genre. So it's really funny. And plus, I have an Xbox, so mostly I learn a lot because it's not like I can afford the things I'm talking about because money is hard. But it's fun for me to watch a show that's specifically about Xbox playing instead of anything that could be like mods, like PC or stuff like that. Alright, now for my 2 favorite music channels. First one is PTX Official, which is Pentatonix's channel. If you don't know who Pentatonix is, then I don't think you should be on YouTube anymore. You need to stop watching this video and come back to it and look up Pentatonix for about 4 hours, because they're a wonderful a cappella group made up of 5 wonderful singers, 3 lead voices, a bass voice, and a beatboxer. And they are truly amazing. They're so talented. They're my age, and so I wonder what I'm doing. But they're very talented. They seem down to earth. I've heard their concerts are amazing. But their channel isn't Vivo. Yeah, their channel isn't Vivo related, so it's just them. And they upload. They've gotten more professional in recent years since they've gotten more popular, and I assume been signed on to a label, well, more so. But past videos of theirs will be live recordings of them, and then later they have more actual music videos. But the coolest thing about them isn't just that they're a cappella, is that I think the most doctoring I've seen them do to a video is in their most popular video, their Daft Punk cover medley. They do use a bit of skipping to imitate the sound of electronic music, but everything they do is with their voices and occasional instrumental accompaniment, like their beatboxer Kevin plays the cello. They've had Lindsey Sterling on before, who's that amazing violinist. But I love them because I love music. Like I said before, I love hearing their songs and breaking them down into their component parts. And saying, oh, look, there's Scott, or oh, look at Mitch's high note, or like, oh, I can barely hear Avi on that because he's so low. So that's really fun. My other favorite music channel is pretty recent. I like Peter Hollens a lot. He's a similarly a cappella singer, but he a cappellas with himself, which sounds dirty. But most of his videos are, how would I put this? Most of his videos are kind of just him layered over himself a gazillion times, so he'll be singing every part, then they'll layer it over, and it'll be like a full song. And occasionally he'll have guest stars, like he's had Avi Kaplan, the bass voice of Pentatonix, on. He's covered a song with him before. He sings a lot with his wife. I think her name is Evan, Evynne. Sorry, Peter, I don't know how to say your wife's name. But he just covers a lot. My favorite song by him is Shenandoah. I have a soft spot for that song because it's a beautiful region of the United States, and it's a beautiful folk song too, and his cover of it is just, I don't want to say bone-chilling because that's really negative, but it's spine-tingling. There we go, it's beautiful, it'll give you goosebumps. Alright, now on to my favorite vlogging channels. One of my favorite vlogging channels is a very popular one, it's Superfruit, which is the two lead male singers of Pentatonix, Mitch and Scott. They have a channel together called Superfruit where they just talk about stuff and act really sassy, and occasionally have guest stars. It's really silly. One of my favorite and weirdest things about the channel is that they start off with talking about their favorite. I was talking with like some silly name for themselves. Like Scott will go like, I'm Beyonce, and then Mitch will go like, and I'm Solange who punched Jay-Z. So something really silly like that, which is really funny. And they sing a lot on there sometimes. They'll do occasional covers of songs, like they've done a Frozen cover with the lady of Pentatonix, Kirsty, and so it's cool. It's a variety of things. And my favorite episode was the episode Super Maisie, because they had Maisie Williams of Game of Thrones fame on, and she's really funny and adorable in person. So that was a really good episode. My other favorite vlogging channel is A Geek in the Community. It's this wonderful guy who I know in real life, though I haven't seen him in quite some time, who talks about LGBT issues, social justice stuff, and geekiness. So he'll talk about his favorite shows. I think he just did an episode on the Grace Helbig show. He talks about it a little bit. And he vlogs about his life, so I'll talk about his job that he has and stuff like that. So it's kind of a special place in my heart because I know him in real life, and he's kind of the person who inspired me to start, I don't even want to call it vlogging yet, but to start trying to start vlogging. And he's very funny, and I find him super precious. So subscribe to him because he puts up really quality content. And my last favorite channel, not last like 10 out of 10, but last favorite channel on this list is Sci Show. Sci Show is run by Hank Green of the Vlog Brothers and brother of John Green fame, along with several other main editors whose names I don't know. So for that I apologize, Sci Show. But I learn a lot. I love learning, and I forgot that learning is fun, especially when you get buried up to your neck in all the channels that I just mentioned. But it's but it's total class act of a channel, and they have so much really good stuff. Scientific content ranging from top 5 most dangerous substances to, I don't know, the worst human experiments to how did we cure polio. So it's really interesting stuff, and they're anywhere between 2 and 17 minutes. So it's a wide variety And my favorite video by them is probably top 5 most dangerous chemicals, because it's fascinating, and Hank is really funny in that video. So yeah, that's my favorite YouTube videos, or YouTube channels. Subscribe to all of them, and I will see you all next time.